Hello, one and all. This is our podcast, Douchebag Rants. This is episode 4. Let's begin.
Why do you sound so
So,
unenthusiastic?
Listen, man.
yeah, like
I,
the
I,
second
I.
you go before the recording started, he was so enthusiastic. And just as Osama says, let's start recording, he goes, hello, everyone, and all.
Okay, okay. Let me try that again. Welcome, everybody. This is our podcast, Douchebag Rants. This is episode 4, and we are beginning our talk with what was the topic again? The first one.
So the
Okay.
Create
first topic is that creating art or artistic content,
Uh huh.
creative
creative
content
content.
in general.
Uh huh.
And so, as you can see, the fourth member is back,
Yay!
EPIA.
Yay!
And
Long.
I think the person who has the most input for creating creative content is this person. So I think he should take the
Danish,
lead.
please.
Okay, so I want to ask what you guys want to specifically talk about because there's a
Go,
lot
go.
of I have a lot of views on this, and I think I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I've distilled my views very simply. So I want to
Okay,
ask you guys what do you want to ask?
okay. So first of all, so you're a guitarist, right? When you started guitar playing, and you like genuinely got into it, what was your first impression after listening to the shitty pop songs that are popular? Like I've always heard
These
that. I've
shitty,
always heard
shit-
that. Sorry. This may be.
shitty pop songs
Okay,
means
so
nothing.
the first thing I'm going to take from what you said is that you don't like
No, no, no.
popular music.
No, no, I'm saying like the pop songs that get famous that get stuck in your head, but they're everywhere, so they get very old real fast.
My opinion is that if a song gets stuck in your head, it's a good song. Pretty simple.
Right. Okay, but like back to the point that I was trying to
But
make.
it seems
I
like
was,
you have some built up angst against popular
yes,
music.
yes, I do. Anyways, but what I was trying to say
Could
is
you
I always,
explain that angst?
God damn it. Okay,
Why do you hate popular music?
listen, man, I don't hate it. I just that if it's everywhere, it's just not like how do I explain this? If a song is that like abundant in every single place and you hear it all the time even when you don't want to, even when you're in the bathroom of a mall, like you just start hating it.
I actually agree with Usman on this because, there are a few songs that I
like
liked.
okay, everybody has heard Frozen's Let It Go, right? I like that song
Yes,
at the
that's a
beginning,
good
but
example of
but
this.
as the years went by and it kept like showing up everywhere, it gets old.
I was gonna think of another example, which is "Shape of You" by Ed Sheeran. I thought
That's
it was a
Yes.
also
pretty nifty, good song, but then it just kept getting replayed over and over again, which I found
uh,
annoying.
an
Yeah, so
example of
I'm
this
so
is
like
also like
I
you
like
know the song "Fallen Angel." I'm so lonely, fallen angel. The lyrics go
Yeah,
like that. So it's been ruined for me because of how badly in situations it's been used, and
Sama, how about Middle by
we don't talk about that, okay?
so would you say that you like those songs, but you only don't like them because they've been played so much?
yes,
But Usman, it seems
no.
like you specifically, you're against popular things. You hate things just because they're popular. I get that
yeah,
feeling.
I guess that as soon as they enter the mainstream, I'm like, oh god, it's tainted.
Yeah, I get that feeling
yeah.
too.
Why? I personally don't agree with what Usman says right now or with Sama because I personally don't mind. Because at the end of the day, if someone else or a mall is putting up music, it's their choice. You can choose not to listen to it, and that's
Wait,
your
can you?
problem.
Can you? Wait.
Yes, you can. Put on
How can you
headphones.
choose?
Put on
You
earphones.
can't. You can't put on
Put on
earphones
earphones.
with your family. You can't put on earphones with your family when you're with your parents and like they're
That's
like,
your
stop,
problem.
listen to us.
That's your problem.
Oh, fine, fair
I
enough.
can. I can.
Fine, privileged asshole.
Okay,
Taking
so are there any
I
questions specifically about creating stuff? I think we went a bit off topic.
Okay.
I'll get on to that. But first, I'll say this one thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I personally do not mind popular music, and if other people are playing it, because I personally believe that music is very subjective, and I hate people who gatekeep certain genres of music, and they're like, this is the only good music. Like all other music is trash. No. I severely disagree with this mindset. I think
That's not
that
gatekeeping. That's not gatekeeping. Gatekeeping is like, oh, so you like Green Day? Name every one of their songs. That's gatekeeping.
potato. चलो ठीक है.
No, it's not
I
potato
don't.
potato. He's making a logical point right here.
नहीं, चलो, I use the wrong word, but what I am trying to say is that's not
I
my
get your
point.
point.
My point is that for you to say that the other people or it got into mainstream, so it's gotten bad, the song is bad. No, that's not for you to say.
No,
Right?
that's
That's a shitty
he
thing.
never
That is
said he
that's
never
just
said
my
that.
opinion,
He never
basically.
said that. He said that the song gets ruined for himself. He just showed us like his point of view.
Listen, man, I can't listen to it. I can't help other people listening to it. It's fine as long as they listen to it. Like, as long as I don't have to listen to it constantly on repeat over and over again every day of my life, I'm fine with that.
Question. So
It's a
you're
it's a
fine with
weird thing.
listening to your choice of music repetitively, but if other people start
No,
listening to it, you
no,
get annoyed by it?
No.
no, it's not that. No, I'm not fine with listening. Like, no, it's not like if somebody else listened to my music, I would be against them. Like, my sister listens to my music is fine. I'm okay with her setting up on her arms. It's like I'd like them to appreciate it, but if they can, like, I'm happy with that. If they can understand like the nuance, and I'm fine with that. But like just repeating over and over again, and just because it gets popular, it's so like they listen to it only because it's popular music. Not that I can't hate them for listening to it, but I can't hate them for never trying to like delve into what the songs.
So
How to say this?
So you
correct me
basically
if
have an issue that
correct me if I'm wrong.
go on.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So what you
Sorry.
what you're trying to get at is that let's say for example that you just gave the example of like someone like playing the song over and over. So you would say that they don't have when you ask them that what kind of music do you like, they wouldn't have an answer other than that yeah that's this song's popular so I'm listening to that. Is that your point?
Kind of.
Yeah, because like that's my point of view as well because like like I have a specific type of music that I listen to. I mostly listen to
Then
electronic
again,
music.
hold on.
That's why.
Let me play my own enemy here. So like, thing is, listening to popular music is how people get into music in the first place. Like, you get to listen to some catchy song, and then you get into that band. That's how it works, right? For most people.
I think
My
I'm the
only
opposite.
Really?
I think
What?
I started to listen to like very specific niche genres, and then
Huh?
slowly, like over time, I started like liking more popular mainstream music.
Huh.
So I'm like the opposite.
That's the same thing that happened for me because I didn't
Huh.
like listen to music before I ever like heard the first like EDM kind of song. And I used to like hear different songs, but I didn't exactly enjoy music until the first time I heard an EDM. I think that was like Marshmallows Alone, and that I really enjoyed that, and that's when I like actually started getting into music.
For me personally speaking, I've been listening to music for as long as I can remember. And I've listened to Arabic songs, I listen to Hindi, Urdu songs, I listen to English songs, I listen to rock, pop, K-pop, J-pop, J-rock, rap, and orchestral music. And I personally, and Spanish music as well. So I personally do not mind any genre as long as I enjoy it. And if any other person is listening to a music, like recently someone was listening to Kavalis and I actually enjoyed it. For me, I personally think that when it comes to creative content or art, if you keep a narrow mind and you're like that I only like this genre, I really don't think that you can grow
No,
in an artistic field. I don't think you can grow.
we're not talking about like creating because when it comes to creating, I don't think it's good to create something that you don't like because then you're not going to be able to be creative with it. We're talking about
I'm
listening.
not saying
Not
that.
necessarily.
I'm
If
You
create
can
something
make
that you don't
things that
like,
you don't necessarily like, and it could
then
give
it
you
gets
some
more
like
popular than everything you ever made.
it could give you some like insight to like creating different types of stuff.
And I never said that, create something which you don't like. I am saying that you cannot excel in this field if you're narrow-minded and you only like certain niche genre,
I
and you're
agree with
not
that.
expecting to, broaden your horizons. Because if you want to stay in a creative field, you need to broaden your horizon and not stick on one straight path.
Uh,
That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I get that. Because obviously, like over time, interests change, and you need to like you get into different stuff, and you start like.
One of the most important things about being a creative person is not only being open to like new stuff and new ideas, but also being open to like any form of criticism.
Oh, that's
Because
actually
yeah, you need to be able to improve.
yeah. Obviously, criticism is important. That's how you grow. So, coming to Danish,
Yeah,
from
so I
where.
want to talk about my relationship with music.
Mhm.
So I think I have a very different relationship with music than I think 99% of people. I don't listen to music just recreationally. I use it as a tool to like regulate my mood. And so I listen to music recreationally as well. Like I listen to like pop songs and even like some rock songs, but there's certain genres of music that I think excel like beyond like there I hold this like standard of music that is like the greatest of all time. And like those certain genres for me are psychedelic rock and post rock. Those are my two like probably my two favorite genres of music. And I think like those like push the envelope of music to a whole new level where it can like make you experience things like almost to like a psychedelic level.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to talk about like briefly about creating music. I think creating music is probably
Your robot voice.
Robot voice. God damn it. Biggie
Danish
D.
robot.
Disconnect,
Hold on.
reconnect, please.
Let me bring him back.
Am I still robot?
Yeah, you're fine
You're
now.
good. You're fine. You're good.
What was the last thing I said?
Like the biggest thing for creating music.
Yeah, so I think music is like the hardest creative field to like excel at because and then I even have like a quantitative like measure. Like if you compare it to like video editing, there are so many more tools to like manipulate music and audio than there is to like to edit video. And there's just like so much variation, and it takes like an immense amount of like craft and like learning to be able to manipulate music exactly how you want to. And that's why I think music is like one of the hardest things to master.
Danish, I have a question.
Yeah.
So you like creating music. I like creating characters. Like as you all know, I like creating narratives and stories and characters.
Yeah.
And I have this
You're
dream to become an
you're
author.
slowly fading out.
Your audio faded out a little bit.
Yeah, you're slowly like I like
Oh.
and slowly faded out.
Fading
So,
into
so what I'm
Beatles.
saying, so basically what I'm saying is that you like making music and I like creating characters and stories and narratives,
Mhm.
and I have this dream of becoming an author. So I take inspiration from real life people. What do you take inspiration for when you're, creating your music?
I was just about to ask the same question.
I think
So
we
I
take
like that you brought up that you like telling stories and stuff because that's how I view music as well. Like the same way you like make a video or like you write a book. I think creating music is also like telling a story in a way. So I recently uploaded like a new video on my Instagram, and it's basically an animation I made in which there's a dot which is like traveling through space as the music accompanies it. And so that video actually helps like visualize what I'm trying to tell with the music. So it's like there's a lot of overlap between storytelling or video editing and even music.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's why music videos exist and visualizers
Yeah,
and stuff exist.
I think music videos are like a way to help people who aren't like very introspective about music to help visualize it. But like if you're a person like me, I will listen to like music and I'll just get lost into like my own world. And I'll like come up with my own stories and everything about like while I'm listening to that
So
music.
yesterday I finished Lucifer, This is completely related, by the way.
Listen,
And they ended
what's
the
listen?
series. It's a series,
Okay.
and they
Is
ended the
it?
series with "Welcome to the Black Parade" by My Chemical Romance.
Mhm.
Does any of you know the songs? That
No,
No, I
song.
Yes.
don't.
but I heard them and their emo quite,
So
quite emo.
that song is like a emo anthem. And when I listened to the lyrics at the end of that series, I was like, yo, the lyrics actually fit the entire series so well. Like props to the director who, decided to play this at the end. So I think that's what you're trying to say, that sometimes the message of the song can be, viewed in a very different perspective.
And this is actually only unique to music because, like, when you're writing a book, the author, like, he's using words to, like, sort of like navigate you through a story. And the same thing with
And
video. But when you're listening to music, you sort of have your own perspective. And, like, when you're listening to, like, maybe an emo song, you're like you're trying to remember like a time of your life where you might have felt that way. And it's different for everyone. So music gives
So,
you like this very different perspective depending on who's listening to
so
it.
God, the robot voice
music.
has infested everyone.
Change the server.
All right, let's go to Jero.
So what I was going to say was that music has the most, you know, let's say freedom of interpretation. Then I would say a novel, and in the last I would rate a movie or a video. Because for me personally speaking, I think a movie really, stops the person from thinking outside the box.
But like
How
over
so?
there,
For
Wait,
me,
wait,
I
wait.
would
How
disagree with
so?
you
I'll
on
be
that. I would disagree with you
No,
on
no,
that.
एक
no, no.
minute.
Let him continue and
Let
explain.
me finish my argument. For me, the argument that I would raise for this would be number one, Hunger Games, number two, Harry Potter, number three, Divergent, number four, Maze Runner, and so on and so forth.
So tell me,
Please
what do
give
you
your
think
counter
about? So
argument.
tell me, you read the novels as well, probably, right?
Yes.
And the movies. Like, how much open to interpretation are the novels rather than the movies?
So the novels have a lot of more creativity, which the movies have skipped out on,
I
especially
see.
Harry Potter. There is no character of Peeves in Harry Potter. There's this one scene which no one will ever forget in the entire community, which is "Who put the name in the goblet of fire?" said Dumbledore calmly.
Wow.
And
ठीक
then
है?
and then in the
There
movie
are
is like,
several scenes. Ronald Weasley's character has been destroyed
Yeah, yeah.
by this movies to three words: bloody hell
I was gonna
and
say that.
something else. I can't even remember. Like that character has so much depth to it
Ron's actually
and to
smart.
him. Ron is
I
actually
would.
really smart. Ron is perfect for Hermione, and I hate people who are like, Ron was never supposed to be a good, like, Ron's not a good, like, read the books, damn it. Ron is such a good character. Number four, Snape is everyone's daddy because the way Snape's story is told in the movie of seventh part is like, oh my god, Snape only made sacrifices in his life. Whereas if you read the novel, you would know that Snape was the one who was responsible for the deaths of Lily, James Potter, and James Potter himself. Lily and James Potter. And Snape is in guilt and regret, living his life in guilt and regret. नंबर फोर आपको सीरियस ब्लैक की स्टोरी पता चलेगी विच इज नॉट इन द मूवीज नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू हंगर गेम्स की मूवीज आर नॉट एज गुड एज द novels are really good. Divergent, I won't even talk about
we
Divergent
don't
because
talk about Divergent at all.
the novel is a shit show. The
The novel
novel
is a
is a
shit
shit
show.
Yeah, I
show.
The
know.
novel.
The novel is so bad.
What?
It's that novel
It's
is
a
one of the
Hunger
main
Games
reasons why
wannabe.
they
I'd call
that
it a
novel is
Hunger
one of the
Games
reasons
wannabe.
why dystopian genre fell
Uh,
down.
yeah.
The Maze Runner has an amazing novel series, but the movies were meh. So,
Hmm.
yes, what I am trying to say is that the movie, it limits you to the perspective of the director.
Yes.
Movies are
The
like one
movie,
interpretation of the book.
yes, of the book, one interpretation of the book.
And not the
So
one you
That's
necessarily
what
you
it
okay.
is.
want to
Now,
read.
can I give a counter argument here?
Yeah, your 2 cents,
Sure.
please.
Okay. My 2 cents would be that the all the examples that you gave are movies that came out based on novels, right? So what about like the original movies, like the Mission Impossible series? There are no novels for that, and if you watch those movies, they cannot be told in any other way. And now you would say that if they made a novel out of it, and it would be much better, it would go into a lot more detail. But you have to agree that some specific scenes cannot be told in novels, other than like instead like in the way that they're told in movies. Like for example, if you go into like details, I can't exactly come up with an example in my head, but um, if you look at Hyoka, like the anime series, right? It goes like the directive capabilities, like the direction that's there in that series, right? It's so good and it's so detailed. Like everything is like down to like the camera placement of everything, of every scene, and like every dialogue and every like bit of voice acting that's been done, every little scene that's been animated in that show. It's telling the story, and it aids the story. You wouldn't be able to understand that perspective if you were not watching it visually. And another thing is that like you can call it like sort of quote unquote Easter egg kind of thing. That let's say that in some novels it's like this character, I was there all along, and it's like a gigantic like plot reveal and everything, like a plot twist or whatever. Like that sort of like sometimes ruins the story for me. It's like it feels like a plot hole. It's like a plot convenience kind of thing. Like, oh, he was there like suddenly. But in movies, like you can yeah, I came up with an example. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. In the shows, they show like silhouettes and those characters like coming into the city who they later fight, right? Or like even in some movies where they show like this character, and throughout the movie you're like, who is this character, like why does he keep showing up? And in the end you find out that, oh, this was this guy. Or like sometimes it may be nobody. So there are some things that only visual storytelling can tell that a novel cannot.
That's the thing
never
though.
said.
I think you proved the point that like we're
Yes.
trying to make, is that you said yourself that these like films, they only show you things in one particular way, whereas when you're listening
Thank
to
you.
music or you're reading a
Reading a
novel,
book.
the experience is unique and individual to
Largely
everyone.
different. Largely different.
It allows for introspection,
It also,
where
I
like
would
your
say,
mind is coming up and filling the details.
it
So it's
also
a
That
unique
was
depends.
the
experience for
point that I
everyone.
was trying to make.
It also depends on the author and how vividly he can express that
I'm
in
not
as
saying
succinct context as possible.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that like a movie isn't like a masterpiece or a great piece of art. I'm just saying it doesn't allow for that level of introspection as a novel or music.
That's exactly what I was saying as well.
So
I
the
never said
Or
anything
games,
that
John.
these cinematography or things, cannot be done that well. For instance, you gave the example of Yoga. Let me pull out another great anime which came out this year, Horimiya,
Mm-hmm.
right?
amazing show.
Amazing animation, amazing voice quality, voice acting, amazing soundtrack, and overall amazing storytelling. But you know what's missing when I read the manga?
What's missing?
A shit ton of chapters. A shit ton of chapters, which I didn't even know existed. The character depth that is given to a particular character which is just not present there in the anime series. That's what's missing.
I
So,
think you messed up there. I think you said manga instead of anime. Wait, no.
nay,
Oh, you're talking about light novel?
manga, Horimiya manga
The
has a
manga is
lot
missing
of
chapters?
chapters.
Missing?
Nay, the manga has a lot of chapters.
Acha, acha. Oh god, robot voice. Hold on a beat. I'll bring you back. Here, he's back.
Okay.
The manga has a lot
Yes.
of chapters which
Yes.
are missing in the anime.
Okay.
Well, see, I would say this too. Like, you've seen Slime, right? You know that they
Sorry,
are.
interrupting. Change the server, please. I'm not getting good ping, please.
All right, fine. I'll change the server from India to.
Just set it to automatic.
Fuck it, automatic it is.
Okay. Are we back?
Finally, it's EU Central, by the way. We're on.
Okay.
Say, go on.
So, like, I was about to say, we've all seen. How many of us have seen reincarnation of slime, right?
I haven't seen the entire thing yet.
Yeah, fair enough. But I still, you've seen, right? So there's certain, like, obviously in the manga and in the novel there's very much more depth and detail to every single scene. But in the anime, there is limitation to how much you can explain without it getting boring. Correct? Like, you could get to know
Yes.
every single character's power ups, every single one of their stories, like how they leveled up and which power up they got. But visual storytelling is about visual storytelling, right? it it it's it's amazing in the sense that if it's done right, you can get to see some amazing shit, right? But it sometimes it doesn't translate well into visual storytelling. Like, certain things aren't, how should I say this?
Presented.
Berserk,
I'm not gonna bring up Berserk, man. Like,
We don't talk.
Aragon.
no. Aragon, the movie. I haven't read the
The
book,
movie
so I
was
can't.
trash.
I
Utter
haven't.
trash.
Huh, goddamn.
Okay, so just like the last thing that I would say is that while we're talking about art, I would say like the final thing, like I think we can agree to disagree on this, that art is subjective entirely, and how you perceive it is also subjective. So someone may enjoy watching a movie and being told a story in a certain way, and they would be like sort of an accepting person, more like me, because I would like it's I'm not saying that I don't enjoy being able to imagine a story while reading a novel, right? But I'm saying that I enjoy being told a story through a visual medium more than I would enjoy it reading a novel sometimes. So that's
Sometimes.
that's like the final point I would put
Yeah, I
to
agree
this
with that.
topic.
I mean, it's different for me as well. I mean, I like listening to music more than I like watching movies or reading novels.
Mm-hmm.
I am the person who likes reading novels.
I like reading light novels.
I like watching movies, and like for like if anybody thinks that I'm more biased towards movies, then yes, I am,
Listen,
because
man. Man.
We all
I'm
have our
really
biases.
I'm
Yes.
really into filmmaking. I really love filmmaking, and I really go deep into how like visual effects and stuff that
Disclaimer.
is
Take
made.
everything we say with a grain of salt.
Yep.
Yep.
All
What's
right.
the next topic?
So
Next.
So moving on to the next topic. The next topic is this industry, how it's being run. Like, first, let's say that you are a celebrity and what you go through in the industry or behind the scenes, what happens, and cancel culture and all that stuff.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think the person who knows the most about behind the scenes is Danish as well, because he has done a few events like these. I've managed events
I've managed as well.
where people come and sing, so I know what happens and goes around. But Danish has participated in events, so I
Danish,
think he knows
how
a
many
lot
druggies
better.
have you seen?
Okay, so one thing I want to talk about, like before everything else, is that can any of you guys imagine being a celebrity? Because
No.
I can't.
Yeah,
I
No,
could
I-
never be a celebrity.
I
I
sort
that's
of
one of the
can.
main reasons why I don't
The thing is that
want to, show my face.
Because like I've like seen and sort of like experienced the lives of people who are celebrities, and it's looks and sounds absolutely exhausting.
it
to,
does.
like,
Yeah,
Know
does.
that many people and like have to like interact and do things that you're supposed to. It sounds exhausting.
same. Like, if
So
I were to
I'm actually
become a
very grateful
celebrity,
that I have like somewhat of a normal life.
Yeah, like if I were to become a celebrity now, I would wish to be cancelled. Like I can't deal with all the fame and all that.
I don't think any one of
Spotlight.
us would wish to be cancelled, Debbie.
Because that leaves
I
them.
don't want to be in the spotlight.
Listen, man,
I
it's
don't
better than
want to be
getting
in the
cancelled.
spotlight.
It's better than getting canceled. Yeah, you don't want to get
You
canceled.
know, I'm
And that
I'm
also
being
ties into like being creative. Like some people, their goal is like to like make things and eventually like make money and stuff. But it eventually, like if you go down that path, it does become a job at one point. And
Yeah,
like I think if you want to enjoy like what you actually do and what you create, I think you should keep it a hobby.
same.
exactly.
So to answer your guys saying that I don't want to be cancelled. The reason why I'm saying this is because I know I have the technical skill to survive. Like I can get a job, I can work in a organization and all these things. I'm not dependent on anyone. And if other people want to go ahead and cancel me, they can go ahead and cancel me. I really don't give a shit. I don't want to be in the spotlight, and I can't bother dealing with fans or people like these because I genuinely find this entire culture annoying.
Hmm. So, like, when you said that, can you imagine being a celebrity? So the thing is that I can imagine how difficult it is. Like just like Danish is saying, like it's it's just exhausting to think about it, and because like you have to keep up this persona that like sometimes like some things about that persona clearly contradict what your personality actually is.
Yep.
So
And eventually, like if it happens like long enough, that persona actually becomes you. And
exactly,
you actually like lose sight of who you actually are.
that's what's scary about this. That's what's scary about being famous or being a
Listen,
celebrity.
man, let me ask you this. What's your end goal with this podcast?
My end goal is that people actually, we are able to help people think rationally. I at till the end do not want to reveal my identity of this.
Not about identity,
That
but in the end, like okay, I'm speaking really hypotheticals here, but what would you do if we actually became famous?
can't be bothered with it
Fair enough.
Honestly,
because here's
like
the thing, right? How Sama, go ahead.
no, you go ahead, sure.
So my perspective to this is that even if we do get famous, like even if, which is a very big even
Yeah.
if we do get famous now, and I wouldn't want to reveal my identity, and even if my identity somehow gets leaked and people get to know who I am,
People do the
someone
robot voice.
to like I'm genuinely fucking tired of this shit.
I
And
apologize, man.
Nitro Lele koi.
Even that didn't help.
Nitro is a
The
bit
cursing
I
expensive.
got
Ibrahim is going
Nitro.
to
I
come
Nitro would
boosted
back.
the
not help.
server. I got Nitro. I
Nitro would not
boosted the
help.
servers. It didn't help. It was still happening.
Nitro
The
would not help.
cursing Ibrahim is going to come back, Ibrahim. What
Oh,
I was saying was that if a young child comes up to me and he's like, I'll be nice to that kid, but only to a certain extent. I'll say stuff like, I saw
oh
this
god
Ibrahim
damn
hates
it.
children.
mango.
For the love of God, please work.
Mother chode ke bachche start ho gaye.
I'm gonna need you to elaborate on what you just said.
Because we
So
heard
yes,
you hate
thank you.
children.
I what I basically mean is that, for instance, I'm outside with my family, and someone just comes up to me and says like, "Oh, can I do this? Can I do that?" I'm simply going to say, "Fuck off, no." Because here's the thing, right? I am nobody's. I am not responsible to be nice to every person who listens to this podcast. I have every right to my privacy and to do whatever I want in my free time, and I don't want to change myself for any other person. That's the kind of person that I am. If by any chance someone comes up to me and says that, oh, you're the guy from the podcast, my first reaction would be, yeah. Do you like Wasarakat? And for me, I would be very thankful and nice to him. But if they push the boundaries or the limits, then yeah, mate, sorry, but I am going to call you out and cuss you. That's the thing, right? I have set boundaries, limits, which I don't want other people to cross, and I myself don't want to cross. So if
I
it
think we
comes
just
to a
completely
point,
made it clear what we expect making these videos.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that there's a 99.99% chance that, like, this goes nowhere. I mean, that's
Yep.
just
yeah,
stats.
That's just
Like, the
YouTube.
point of doing this shouldn't be, like, to get famous or anything. It's just
for
having
me,
That
somewhat
isn't
meaningful conversations between ourselves.
that isn't the point
That
at
yes,
should be the
all.
goal.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
my goal is
Your goal is doing the robot voice and being banned.
Usman, change the freaking location, please. Set it to
Fine,
automatic. Why are
fine.
you not setting it to automatic?
I have set it to automatic already.
Okay.
sad.
You can't set things to automatic twice, Sama.
Ibrahim, should I like pause the recording and you can like restart your internet or something? Maybe that could help.
My restarting the internet will not help.
Okay.
Restart his
PTCL,
life.
fuck you.
Restart his
Fuck
life
you,
instead.
PTCL. The next topic is going to be PTCL. Fuck off, PTCL. I fucking hate you, PTCL. You trash piece of internet service provider. Why, PTCL? Why?
So this man came. So this man came
Isn't
here.
it really weird? Like, doesn't every other, like,
Yes.
like service provider get their internet from PTCL?
It does.
It does,
They do.
yeah. They
Then
do.
why is PTL so bad?
The PTCL is basically
Bro,
a
there's
government
this
organization. So they
Nay,
really like what? Okay, you elaborate.
PTCL is really good.
Really?
PTCL is really good.
Huh?
The issue is that in our society there are no optic fiber cables. There's only copper wires.
That's
There's a
the
lot of
problem
loss
with
on copper
mine as
wires.
well.
Even with optic
So,
fiber cables, I had problems, bro.
nahin, PTCL with optic fiber cables and DHA is really, really good.
And DHA,
What I've
honestly,
heard
yes.
in DHA, PTCL is really, really good. And honestly speaking, PTCL isn't that bad.
Really now.
It's just that sometimes when it's rainy or the weather's not good, it's just trash. And nowadays
Like half the
it
year.
is, no, we don't live in the UK where it rains half the year. So,
Sorry. But like weather
like,
is bad.
It
most of the
rains
time.
like 1/4 of the year. Even less than that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. You made the point. Fine.
It's
What are we
just
talking
that
about?
September is the month
I
of
know, yeah.
monsoon. I
December
think
is another one.
coming back to the point, I think
Yep. You go
majority,
ahead.
as we said in the first episode, majority of us are doing it for our mental health
Yes.
because we are sick and tired of being stuck at our homes and we just want to have meaningful conversation, as Danish said.
Yes.
None of us expect this podcast to go anywhere, and if it ever helps anyone, that's a plus for us.
Yes.
That's just a plus point.
So
So yeah, coming back to the original topic, we sidetracked a lot.
mhm.
That celebrity life is bad, right? I think we
Yep.
all unanimously agreed on this. Celebrity
Both of
life
you.
bad, double equal to bad.
Yes.
If I could make a lot of money without being a celebrity, I mean, that's the ideal life.
Exactly.
Same.
Same.
Okay, next
Mhm.
thing.
Right.
What do you think about cancel culture, like current day cancel culture?
Listen, man, everybody knows it's bad. Like, it's very, very horrifying. Specifically on Twitter. Twitter is like the default place for cancel culture to exist. People get canceled left and right, center. Like anything can get you canceled. The thing you said in the past that really doesn't matter anymore. Like, you changed as a person, you've grown, and you apologized multiple times. No, you'll still get canceled for that.
So
No,
I think
we
the
touched on
right
this a
word
bit in the
is
first episode as well. We touched on this a bit in the first episode as well. But what we want to talk about right now, I think, is that
The horror side?
what is the response to being canceled from the celebrity side? That's like I think that's what I want to talk about right now.
It's a
What
big thing
one thing
because
I
like
can say,
the people who cancel you, they expect you to like never use
course.
like social media or anything again, and like that's just not realistic. Like you have
Exactly.
to move on with your life, and like social media is just like a part of how things are, so you have to keep using it.
Mm-hmm.
So
my
like I don't understand what the course of action is after you're canceled.
my take on this
Become a
is
hermit.
that, or what I have an issue is that, like Usman said, I personally think this is a very controversial, I won't exactly say bad, but controversial topic, because in a lot of cases it is needed.
Mm-hmm.
However, my issue is that these people on Twitter, they don't have as much as stake at stake as the celebrity. They
Yeah.
can ruin their entire lives over a very, some majority of the times, on something which doesn't really matter, while they are not affected for their actions at all. And that's what I have an issue with. Like, for instance, I cancel a celebrity, and that celebrity cannot come to social media. Like, he might commit suicide. I know a lot of celebrities have gone into severe depression and committed suicide because of hate comments and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's why
And these
new mangaka.
individuals,
Sorry, I was interjecting there, but okay, continue.
sorry, these individuals, like, they don't lose anything.
Oh God, why?
They
Why? Why? Damn it! God damn it!
डिस्कनेक्ट करके वापस ला दिया करना खुद ही.
Sorry. I should not really complain now. At this point, it should
so
be routine.
they don't lose anything.
Yeah.
The people who, you know, attempt to cancel you.
Do the
Sometimes
cancel. Yeah.
they even cancel you for things which you didn't even do.
Yeah.
Oh, the hell, yeah, that happens.
Because like,
Because you're implied prime.
okay, so
Yeah,
like
Like,
it's needed in some situations. Obviously, like there are some cases where you clearly need it and it's completely like obvious there. But the biggest problem that I have with cancel culture is the ability to cancel someone, to ability to like ruin someone's reputation without any evidence. That's what I have the biggest problem
Yeah.
with. Without any
dude,
evidence,
in
just
honesty,
with the sheer number of people just saying that, it becomes valid suddenly.
I would say that like the people who cancel, like sometimes you have to admire their single-mindedness and how much they can rally to a cause that is seemingly very meaningless. Sometimes, like with recently, you have to admire like there was a what is it in Blizzard, like the people who made Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
There was one of their who was it, employees or whatever,
Blizzard
like
fucked up.
yes,
Blizzard's
dude,
really fucked up.
one of their guys, they was charged for sexual harassment or something, like I don't
Not one, not one.
Oh
Robot,
wow.
robot.
The curse is back to him.
Herpes in a basket. Why does it happen to me?
What? What?
Add that
What?
add that to the list.
Herpes,
Add that to the list.
herpes in a basket? That's the first time I've heard this one. Herpes in a
Listen, man,
basket.
I wasn't really thinking much. It's not great. Fine, I get it. I'm not really creative with these. Never mind. Anyways,
Bro,
what I was
if
trying
you're
to say.
not creative, I'm a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Anyways, back. What was I saying at the time? Anyways,
Blizzard.
one of those guys, yeah, one of their people got canceled, and like, so one of their characters in game is called, what was it called again? Fucking, I don't know, man. Forget this conversation. As soon as I got Robert Weiss, I forgot what I was talking about.
So basically, Blizzard, it wasn't just one person who got cancelled. It was,
Yeah.
Pretty much the
yeah,
entire.
yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much their entire, senior staff was involved in sexually harassing the female
Oh crap!
workers over there. It
Wow.
wasn't just one staff member who was doing it, it was all of them.
Read up on
God
this,
damn.
Yeah,
Usman. It's a gigantic lawsuit.
Seriously?
it's a
Wow.
Like it's,
very
I think,
big issue.
I think it's to the point that it's actually a class action lawsuit at this point. Like
See,
there are
Yeah.
there are way
this
too
is
many women
you
coming
need
out.
cancel culture. You actually need cancel culture to get shit done.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you need it there, but
But
most of the times
big but.
it's with the lack of evidence or with like misusing, like a misinterpretation of evidence.
Like in the case of Blizzard, you have a lot of evidence. And then you have the Dota 2, the esports sexual harassment incident which happened last year in July. Was it July, Danish, or August? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was July.
So when basically it started with Smash, and then people in all
Smash
other
Ultimate, right?
esports started Smash Ultimate,
Yeah.
Mostly.
where yeah, mostly Smash Ultimate, where a lot of cases started to come up, and then people in Dota started voicing their opinions, and then throughout the esports community it became pretty evident how females are sexually harassed a lot.
Not only that, it was like
And
underage sexual harassment as
yeah,
well. So
so in that cases I think that cancel culture is a good thing. But let's say if in the case of Jenna Marbles, for instance, or I know a few K-pop stars who are dead now because they
What?
committed suicide. Yes, they committed suicide.
God damn,
Three K-pop
I don't.
stars over the course of 2 years have committed suicide because of netizen hating on them for reasons for like literally stupid reasons and things which they haven't even done. You know,
Oh yeah.
so
So that's why.
those, huh.
Fair enough.
So in cases like these, now it really makes me think that why does this thing exist? This thing shouldn't exist at all. But then I look at Blizzard and the entire esports community. You know what?
There you go.
I'm really torn about this entire thing. That's why I use the word controversial for it. That it's
Oh, hold on, Nabi. I'll bring you back. He's back.
why. Ek minute, was I roboting then?
yes,
Yep.
But I would normally when I go robot, it goes down to 1 bar, but I had
See,
3 bars.
ping does not. The ping has nothing to do with outbound
it's
packet loss.
yeah.
It's not because of the ping. It's because of outbound packet loss. Click on the voice connected button, and you'll see your ping is not the deciding factor.
Why did this happen to Discord? When we started using Discord, this wasn't a problem. This became a
Where did the
problem in
packets
like
go?
Well,
On a party.
on a party. No,
in the
like
abyss.
They're lost in the stream.
I'm actually
Party.
genuinely curious how and why this started, because Discord was known for not having these problems.
I think ever since the pandemic started, a lot of people started
Discord.
using it, and their servers became, jammed.
Garbage.
I'll have to
But
do some research
I
on
would
this.
still say Discord is a lot better than a lot of other services out there.
True,
I
true.
wonder how many users Discord has.
Oh God, probably
It
millions.
has to be like
Millions.
over
Billions.
100 million.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, not billions though.
I wonder how many pedophiles are there on this.
See.
One in every five.
One
Even
in
to-
every
Oh
five.
God, damn.
Wait a minute.
Which
There
means
are
one of
5
us.
people.
There's
One of
4 of us.
us.
There's
Oh
4 of us.
no.
There's
Oh
4 of us,
no!
guys. Don't worry. There's 4 of us here.
But if you include Hassan, then there's five.
Oh God, no. There's a
Oh, no.
pedo among us. Anyways, we all know who it is. Moving on. It's no secret.
Okay,
Anyways,
moving on.
Moving on. Yes, moving on.
So I think the celebrity that's going through, if they themselves know that they're guilty of it, so I don't know what they're going through.
Mhm.
But if the person who is being cancelled and is not guilty of it, like I said, I know 3 celebrities who committed suicide, so I think that's what probably going through their mind.
Okay, so like we came up with this topic with like Gigak's latest video. I don't know what it's
Game
called.
cancelled?
I'll show it up because in
She
it's
doesn't
not
love you,
exactly
bro.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, she doesn't love you. I think that's what it's called.
That is the name.
Yeah. So basically, it's about some manga that's on celebrities and celebrity culture, idol culture, basically. So he goes on a tangent in that review, and he goes into like how like cancel culture can affect someone. And from that video, I got like a pretty good perspective. Like from he's been doing YouTube for a while now, and he's got like a pretty good.
Considerably popular.
Yeah,
Yes.
he got considerably popular, and he gave some pretty interesting points about like how when you're canceled, what's important is not whether whether the person who's apologizing about whatever he's being canceled for is he sincere or not. That's not the important point. It's whether he can convince the audience that he's sincere or not.
Mm.
So I found that pretty interesting, and I actually never thought about this in this way, in the way
After
that
so many
actually.
apology videos, you didn't think that?
Social
No.
media is all about optics.
Yeah.
You're just trying to convince the most amount of people of certain way, of certain something.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a game.
Look at
Life is
XQC's
a
chat.
game. Life is a game.
Ninja's chat.
What are their chats like?
I've never watched either of their streams, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
I personally find both of those two streamers extremely toxic.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Coming to the new
I don't find them
topic.
toxic. Like
Toxic
I don't know. I
streamers.
haven't seen much of Ninja, but I've seen a bit of XQC. Like I guess he's funny. Like his humor is like not of my taste, but he's the biggest streamer on Twitch. I guess it's for a reason.
I just don't
Must be
like.
cool.
I just don't
don't
like
like-
Ninja. He's a hypocrite. But
Exactly.
yeah,
It's like
So
with
X-
PewDiePie. So the biggest streamer is the biggest streamer because like people see the biggest streamer and like, oh, okay, he's the biggest streamer. Let's follow him. It's all there's also that kind of reason.
XQC is like Canadian PewDiePie.
Canadian PewDiePie.
Yeah.
do it.
God damn it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
XQC
Oh, no, don't.
Oh,
whines
he's
a
back.
lot.
He's back. He's back.
XQC whines a lot.
Wines.
I don't like XQC.
All right.
But that's my bias speaking.
It was
So, yeah.
so. I don't know why, but it was so satisfying to get him watch him lose to Moist Critical.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
that was so hilarious.
Bro, the excuses that he gave after that for me, that was like, don't be a sore loser. Accept
Except the robot.
The robot voice. At this point, I it's my job now to just keep bringing MB back.
Why does it say that the Chadwell server is playing Demon Souls?
It's me who's playing Demon Souls.
You're
Would
playing
you like to?
If you're playing Demon Souls while we're recording.
Guys, come on. I can do what I want.
Speaking of Moist
Wow.
Critical,
Uh,
he's probably like one of my favorite streamers, and he's like consistently like is very good content. Also, he's
There's
recently sponsored a lot of Smash players. That's pretty cool.
wholesome. I personally find his content really funny.
It's
And-
really entertaining.
I
I don't
watch
watch his streams. I watch his like YouTube videos that he posts.
And he uploads on YouTube like every day.
Mm.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
I just
For me,
find
like,
his
randomly
content
talking about stuff.
extremely hilarious. Like I just find his content like it never fails to make me laugh. His content
His dry take on everything is
and the
Quite
fact that
Yeah,
he's-
he has like these insane metaphors like Usman, except he all says it like he says it in a monotone
very
voice.
dry.
yeah, he's like you can't find out like if he's mad or if he's like trying to be funny. Like he's always so monotone and his face like so bored of life and everything.
Like you wouldn't even believe. Like how
For
would how
me
would he-
personally, I like watching streamers who are, if they're competing in an online game and they lose, they're able to, recognize their flaws and, basically accept that they lost. I don't
And not
like
whine
sore
about it.
losers.
Hmm.
And after I watched XQC losing to Moist Critical, the only thing which he said was, "Do you know how shit that move was?" and all these, and I'm like, bro, you lost.
Yeah. It
You
was the
lost.
thing. It was the thing. The thing.
They're like opposites. XQC is a sore loser, and Moist Critical is a sore winner.
What does that even mean?
I don't mind sore winners.
He just kept like complimenting himself like after he won.
Yeah, I don't mind that. You know,
I mean,
That's
when
pretty
you
funny.
have
when you
right
win,
to
when you
flex.
win, you have every right to do that. But when you lose, just shut up, all right? Because
Yeah.
I know that from being a loser myself and not a sore one because I accept defeat immediately.
I'm always bitter about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Because
think the
if
most
there's
sore out of all of us is Hassan.
yeah, yeah, Hassan's the most sore. Like I feel bad because he's not even part of the podcast, but we keep bringing him up.
Yeah,
But
but nay, if I random, even if I somehow he's a better player than me in Smash.
he's a
Have you
better
noticed
player
something?
in pretty
Okay,
much
so when
anything.
we're playing free for alls and like Hassan loses like the first or like the second person who loses, he just completely like puts his controller away and starts using his phone and like pretends like there's nothing going on. Have you guys ever
Yeah.
noticed that?
Oh, I have not.
I personally do not like how he calls out Usman and just like give up, give up, give up, give up.
Hmm,
Don't
I
Like if
play.
he's like the first or second person to like lose like all their stocks, he'll just like completely like not even watch the rest of the game.
Hmm.
And what I
I
don't
found that
like
pretty
is
funny.
that if someone
I-
outplays him, na, he goes extremely toxic.
Yeah,
He goes extremely toxic. Like, bro, chill out. So these are a few things which I personally do not mind, which I personally think is hypocritical of me to say because I get
dude. In
competitive
all
in
honesty,
Dota.
I'm always
you're
salty
a
in Smash. I'm
you're
always
a
salty in Smash.
you're a Dota
Whenever
player.
I lose.
Being salty in Smash is a natural thing. It's like everyone who plays Smash goes through it. But like after a few years, you get over it.
Few years. Damn, it's been
Yeah,
how many
it
years?
takes a lot of time. It takes a few
Man,
years.
I SD'd at every single time on my last talk. I've SD'd against Danish.
Damn.
Eventually, you reach a point where you're like you SD and you're like, huh, that was pretty funny.
I mean, I'm that way right now. But
No,
in the start,
it's mostly you just go to your phone or something. On honesty,
no, if I SD
You know,
like if I SD
we
in a
get-
very stupid way, like just completely like side B off the stage and just there's no way of coming back. And then and so, like if I get pissed off at myself for that, then I go to my phone. But most of the times I watch the game. You have to agree with that. Most of the times I watch the game to the end, and I'm like cheering for someone or like trying to
I
like
never pick up my phone.
The best mentality to have when you're playing a competitive game is that when something goes wrong or you make a mistake or your opponent outplays you,
Mhm.
you always have to blame yourself. You always be like, "Oh, I could have done that better. I could have done this better." Like if you
I
put
always
your
do that.
blame on something external, like it's gonna bite you back. You're never gonna improve, and like you're just gonna stay stagnant. And you have to be able to laugh these moments off.
Dude,
For
no,
me,
in Smash, hard for me,
Danish, do you
I always
remember?
fall into the same habits.
Danish, do you remember something which happened yesterday? Like when I hit
What?
you and you phased through it. Like you
Yeah, and then
literally
you're
phased
like,
through it,
"What?"
and like I was like, for me, that was the point when I started getting tilted. A
Yeah,
little.
you got tilted. Like if that happened to me, I'd be like, "What the hell? That was funny," and I just like keep playing. And these are like the
Right.
qualities you need to have to be clutch as well. Because when it's like last stock, last hit situation, you have to be
The
you have to be
next
calm. You have to be
game,
cool.
the next game, I was able to reset my mentality, but in that particular game, now I lost it because I was genuinely really tilted at that.
So okay, let's actually make this the next topic. Let's talk about like Spider-Man after that. But
Dude, Danish, tell me, man, tell me. In all honesty, like, how do I not like? I always fall into the same habits of throwing bombs, doing stupid stuff. With whenever like stuck in a corner, but like,
Playing
how do I
annoying.
adapt to that? How do I adapt to that?
So the main way to get out of habits is that you have to do all your inputs with intention. Don't move just because you think you have to move, or throw out a move just because you think you have to throw out a move. Look at the situation and see, what do I have to do here? And put your do something and input something according to that. Don't just like get into these habits or like rely on your muscle memory. You always
Slow
have to be
down the
thinking.
pace. Slow
Exactly,
down
you have
the
to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
pace.
I
It's
mean,
not
I'm
just
guilty of this as well. I mean, like most of the time, like I'm not really like trying to try hard. I'm just like trying to have fun. So I'm just like throwing out like as many moves as I can. But like that's just me. That's like how I enjoy the game. So it's different for everyone.
So
So
okay, this
here's
is
the thing, right? It's the same with Dota, Usman.
Mm.
Like you have a few habits, like you love pushing,
Yes.
and it's to the point where when I was 1v2ing you guys,
mm-hmm.
there was several times that I was walking right beside you, and I was like, Usman, leave. Like I'll say it 3 times, leave.
I run away the
In an
moment I see
online
Ibrahim.
game, in an
Oh, but he's
online
invisible
game,
most of the time.
no one, like people, you guys play so out of position. It's so easy to kill you lot. And the thing is that I get it. The point of the game is to push the towers and destroy the towers, but there are a lot of things that you have to slow down and think. For me, I think, okay, I am the third best player in our group in Smash,
Yes.
and I got to that point only by watching a lot of players. Like I watched a shit ton of. I still regularly watch tournaments of Smash, and you actually learn a lot by watching these people play because you see how they react in extremely intense situations, and then you want to react as well. You don't, obviously, because you're not as good as them, but you want to react, and then you're like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to. Like, for one thing, it's something which I still try to do. Sephiroth has a combo of back throw, back air, which is a true combo, I believe. I still
It
am
is.
not
It's
able.
I think like low to mid%. It's a good
Yeah,
combo.
it's a true combo. I still can't hit it. Bro, Sephiroth is one of the best heroes to go off stage with.
Off stage with? Mm.
Do it.
Repeat.
So Sephiroth is one of the best heroes to go off stage with.
Right.
And every time I try to go off stage with Sephiroth, I SD.
I just stay away
You
from
just
the
don't make
edges.
it back.
If I'm not Joker,
just
I
don't
just
make
stay away from the edges.
Joker is so good off the
Yes.
level as well.
Exactly. And I know this that these heroes are so good off stage that still doesn't stop me from going off the stage. Because if I am not going to try, I'm not going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Like the issue which I think with you're saying is that sometimes you think, but you're like, nah, I'll just stick to what I know.
Yeah. That's why I usually just play with Link.
You
Playing
have to
Link.
step out of
No.
your comfort zones.
I tried with Robin.
So the thing is, like, from
That's good. You play good with Robin. It's an annoying playstyle, but
It works.
it's effective.
It
It's
works.
effective. It works.
It's effective. If it works, it works.
So I've been trying to like change my playstyle a bit. I've been like trying to do like different stuff. Like the last the last time when we played at Danish's place, I think I played a lot better than before. Like obviously I had that extra knowledge, like the master class quote unquote that Danish gave me. And
Oh yeah, with the rock paper scissors thing.
yeah, the rock paper scissors.
On the topic
thing.
of playstyles, to like figure out like what character is good for you, like you have to figure out what playstyle. So there are 3 types of playstyles. There's aggressive, there's defensive, and then there's zoning. Aggressive characters will usually rush you down. They're usually very fast, and they'll throw out a lot of moves. Defensive characters
Right.
are usually slower. They'll usually just walk and stand in place, and they'll try to like bait out an attack from you. And as soon as you throw out an attack, they'll grab you. While zoners, they will go
Voice thing.
Rob.
Start from zoners.
Zoners, yes.
And so you have to figure out which playstyle suits you the most, and then pick your character accordingly.
Start from
What about
zoners again.
Start from zoners again.
I like to play aggressive characters who like throw
No,
out.
like
I play wolf
Start
joke.
from zoners
Start
again.
from
Zoners
zoners
again.
again. You disconnected.
Oh,
Yes.
you didn't understand what zoners are?
No.
No, we
No,
didn't
see
hear
the
anything. We heard
robot.
robot voice.
Oh, so zoners are characters that they have projectiles, and then they'll throw out those projectiles, and as soon as you get hit, then they'll go in for the attack,
Ah,
like Link.
Link.
Sephiroth.
They rely on their projectiles,
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
why I
so
hate
that's like the middle ground between offensive and defensive.
hate Wolf. Fucking
You hate
reflector.
Wolf?
Fucking reflector. I can't even throw anything.
Yeah. Like Hassan was like getting annoyed that like he can't use his minecart anymore.
Bro, Hassan plays a very annoying style of Smash,
Genuinely.
but it's effective, so I can't.
It is.
Steve's a very
Yeah, I-
unique character.
Yep.
He's like a character I have never witnessed before in Smash history. He's the most unique character.
Wow, that's something.
So the thing about Hassan is that
He can
I'll-
literally make platforms.
Yes.
yeah.
Link. Oh, Link. Sorry. Enderman. Steve.
Okay, so like the thing with Hassan is that he's really good at gaming, and I realized that when the first time
He
I
has the
played COD,
mindset.
when I played COD with him, and he has a way of learning things and just applying them to his playstyle,
Beating you
and
in the head with them.
yeah, and
He has a way of like learning like one specific thing and then mastering it.
yeah, and he gets
That's
really
why
good at
I've
it.
always said that he won't be good at.
Which is pretty
he will
good.
never be a good Dota
Could
player.
apply to a lot of skills in life.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's why I've
Like,
always said to him
Dota?
that he will never be a good Dota player.
How so?
Because it doesn't matter if you're only good at one hero. There's
Oh.
several counters to one hero in the game.
So
Well, yeah.
wait, coming back to like playing the game for enjoying it. Have you guys ever noticed that if you're just like playing to have fun, you actually play better than when you're actually trying to have like grind or something?
Oh yeah, sure. Like with the first
I
time
don't agree with that.
Why?
Like no, but
Like because this
Sometimes.
happens to me
Sometimes.
every time when I'm playing Apex. If I'm playing
That's probably
That's
because
your
you're
mindset.
feeling less stressed.
yes, that's your mindset.
because
But if you're a person who's indifferent to like stressful situations, if you're actually concentrating and focusing, you will play better because you know what to do.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know, even when I'm playing Apex, like sometimes, most of the times, the best games I've had are not in ranked, right? When I play casual, I've had the best games there. But
See,
in ranked,
Well,
whenever
well,
I'm like
everybody
When
having
you're
else-
playing in
everybody else in
ranked, you're
casual.
probably playing against people around your skill
what I'm
level, or maybe people like who are better than you. That's why you might
that's
feel
what I
that
was
way.
maybe, but like
Because
I've
you might be losing more.
But even in ranked, I've made some really good plays, and all of those have been whenever I'm like not thinking about it really seriously and like trying to have fun and trying to like do something new with wherever.
That's the
like-
age-old thing, though. You think you're making good plays, but maybe those are only good plays because you're doing them on casual or new players. Those same things might not.
might not do the robot voice, please.
They might not work on.
Actual players, yeah.
Danish, continue with they might not work.
Oh, what was I saying?
They might
Oh,
not
yeah.
work on.
What you do to like against a casual or new player might not work against a pro player. Like when you're playing Smash and you do a combo against a casual player who doesn't know how to DI or SDI properly, you can't do that same thing on a pro player because they know the counterplay against that. So you might be feeling that way because these combos, like what you're doing, works against casual players, but that might not work against like better players.
Same thing with Dota. Like there's a reason why there's several, ranks, Herald and all these things. It's because there are a few things which pro players do, and they do it for a reason, like blocking. Like in Dota, it's said that in the pro level now, even the minute of things like one creep deny and one wave block and all these things, they can make or break your game. But when I'm playing with you guys, I don't even ever talk about these things. It's because it's not for you guys at the moment.
Mhm.
We noobs, we scrubs.
Any game like at the
Yeah.
top competitive level is extremely different from like casual play.
That's
Yep.
true.
Like
It's pretty
if you
much
watch
every
like
game
the
like
the
this.
Smash like Melee Mango versus Zane finals,
Oh,
Zane
bro, that
lost.
was so
He
good.
lost at like I don't know what percent he was like. He was at like 40%, and he lost because he missed his up air by
By what?
By what?
Bro, he robot again.
Okay, somebody
Danish
else take the
robot.
job of doing the role. Somebody else take this job. I don't want it. Why must I?
Danish.
Why
So
must I not
Zayn missed
realize?
his up air.
Yeah, so Zane missed his up air by 1 frame, which is 1/60th of a second. That's why he lost the game and lost the
Okay.
tournament.
Bro, that finals was so hype. You're talking about the Smash Summit, right? Which recently
Yeah,
happened. Bro, that final, it went to,
to game
so
10.
it reset and game 10. Bro, it was so, come on. I watched it all. Bro, that match was hype.
Mhm.
I was genuinely sad that Zayn lost, but seeing
I
Mango
was
win,
happy.
seeing Mango win, and everyone be like, there's a reason why he's a robot.
He's a robot.
God damn it!
कर भी दे अब.
मैं ही करता हूँ क्या? Why am I the only one?
So there's a reason why
Can
he's a
nobody else do this?
no.
The thing about
Smart
Zane
people
is that
joke of
he's the most optimal player to have ever played Melee, ever. And he's like an immovable object. Like if you put him against like a top 20 player, he can routinely four stock them every game. That's why he's like the scariest player.
So
And to
what?
bro
like beat
Mango.
him in two sets back to back is a huge deal.
That set was Kumar. No other word.
Mhm.
It's one of the, it's one of the best sets of all time.
Speaking of pro scene, I don't think anyone over here would know about it, but the two-time winning TI champions now. So basically, they had this one player who was 16 years old, 16, 17.
You told us about this, I think.
Yeah, and he's basically he has retired from Dota. He said that he will not play any longer.
Mhm.
And their coach, who became their team captain, cannot play in this year's international because of an eye surgery. So
Mhm.
that team is in shambles at the. So I'm not expecting a three-peat, but I'm really looking forward to the international this year. The new
Well,
compendium came out and it's free for me. It's not for available to you guys, I think, but it's free
No,
for me.
I think it is.
wait. What's the prize
We
pool
saw
this
it out
year?
there.
What's the prize pool this year?
40 million, 40
God
million.
damn.
It's
Bro,
40 million plus.
Dota's prize pools never cease to amaze me.
40 mil.
Bro,
Also, it's not
here's the thing, right?
community driven.
LOL
It's
and
all
all
community driven.
other LOL and all other games, it's the company who make the prize pool. In Dota,
It's the
the
community.
community raises money for the prize pool.
So amazing. Like
Same in Smash. The community has to
That's
raise all
why
the
I
money.
love it. That's why I love Dota.
the thing about Smash is
Like
Danish
every
that
year, the
Nintendo is just a
community outperforms.
thing
The
about.
sad thing about Smash is that Brawlhalla has a bigger prize pool.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yes.
Nintendo. I think that's because of Nintendo.
Unbelievable.
Nintendo. It's
Honestly,
entirely
Yes.
because
I
of
think that's
Nintendo.
because
Because
of Nintendo.
Nintendo is just an extremely shitty company.
No, not shitty, but
They are shitty.
They
support
are
the
shitty.
esports.
There's
They don't
no
support
other word
esports.
apart from shitty.
There is no
Goddamn.
other word. It's just bottom of the barrel shitty.
Goddamn.
I own all their consoles, and I have a right to call them shitty because they are.
Okay.
Valve
You still
supports.
own all the consoles and many of their games.
Bro,
They're a
like,
great games. They make great games, but they're not a good company.
I agree with Danish. They make absolutely great games. Like this year's Nintendo Direct, I think was the best out of every major. Wait a minute.
Oh yes, like even like PlayStation, the new PlayStation one. It was like the play. Like I didn't watch it. I watched Nintendo Direct a bit though. It was amazing.
I think this year's was the best out of every other gaming console like PS or Xbox. I think Nintendo Direct was the best one.
Hmm.
This
Nintendo
year.
usually has like the best presentations out of all the gaming companies.
Exactly. But I would still say that Smash could be one of the best fighting game competitions in the world, but because of Nintendo, the community doesn't grow.
Yeah, Nintendo actively tries to like undermine the community.
Mhm. Okay,
And
so
it's the exact opposite with Dota, where Valve pushes like Valve has now taken a sponsorship with Twitch. Like you can now watch Dota championships directly on Dota TV, Dota's and Twitch, and make predictions on Twitch and gain prizes, win prizes in Dota.
that's what
Make
happens in
predictions
Brawlhalla
on
as
Twitch.
well. That's what happens in Brawlhalla as well.
Like things like these help build the
Build the
community.
community. Yeah.
Okay, so let's end it on one last thing. My brother wrote me a little note. He was listening to everything. He's sitting in the back. So he's like, he says that it has something to do with psychology as well. That when you're like maining a character, you get used to their abilities and stuff, and you like learn that character completely, and it sort of becomes muscle memory. Its attacks and
Oh,
like
sure, it does. It
how
does.
to get out of those situations. But like when I was
But you have to diversify.
remember when I said that like sometimes when I'm playing a new character, I suddenly play really good with him. It's like what he's saying is that you feel that you're playing really good with it because you're entirely focused on learning that character, so you have more fun playing with him. But the next day when you play with him, it's like the worst character ever for you. So he says that.
For me, it's the opposite.
That's
Like
subjective. That's
the
subjective.
more time I put into like playing that character, the better I
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's because like I
exactly.
know a lot of the game
No,
and
no,
I
no.
know how to like linearly improve.
That's
Oh,
not
you're
the.
throwing a Smash in particular.
No, that's not the point
Like with
of what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say is that
But
enjoyability.
I get your point. Like when you play a new character, like you have like that excitement and fun to like try something
That's
new.
that's the point I was trying to make. Yeah. So I guess it's been quite a while.
yes, it's been about 2 hours.
No, it's not
Almost.
been about 2 hours.
True.
It's we're like 18 minutes over 1 hour right now. I
Oh,
think we
wow.
should call it a day for this one.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
this
pretty.
ends the episode.
This ends
I
the
guess.
this ends the fourth episode of Douchebag Rants. Holy shit, we actually made 4 episodes. Lol.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, so I
God.
guess we will see you in the next one
Yeah. Next week.
next week. Yeah. So bye, I
Bye.
guess.
Toodles.
All right.
Ciao,
See you
y'all.
all.
Bye bye.